Hello, you guys. Welcome back to episode 23 of She Means Well, baby.
I have a question.
Okay.
You ever just feel like Joe Dirt?
I do, but
I love a hat. I love a hat, but it's giving.
It's giving. That's exactly what
Joe
it's
Dirt
doing.
is what it's giving.
No, it's giving, dude. I love it.
This is my West Coast church hat, vintage.
Demolished.
I know. Okay, disclaimer. Abigail and I were doing a photo shoot, and my letters were peeling off, and I'm like, maybe I can peel them off and make it look like there's just like the
Vintage
imprint, shadow, whatever behind it. And then all the letters didn't come off. So now it's vintage. I'm not going to not wear it.
I like it, dude. I think it looks nice. You added some spice and everything nice. Okay.
A little bit of spice.
Anyway, anywho, you guys, welcome back to another episode. We're so happy to be here. We really hope you enjoyed the episode with Amy because we sure did.
Mm-hmm. That was a really good conversation.
I know. And I'm just like, so what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm so like happy that she was so open, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful.
It's really cool to, I'm saying interview because we obviously put it out and it is an interview, but it feels like a conversation that you're just having with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool to be able to have conversations that you can genuinely ask. Like my favorite question, you asked it, was what's a do and what's a don't for grief?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and I mean, maybe everybody answers differently, but that's something that you wonder, like,
seriously, and nobody really wants to ask that, to be honest. Like it's like, come on, like I feel dumb, like I should know, but I think a lot of people wonder that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did amazing. And I think back to like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, where we like really opened up about some of our stuff and it was uncomfy to do. And she just did it so naturally and like well. And yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched or listened to that episode, it's our last episode. Amy Holman, she did a beautiful job, shared an amazing testimony. And we're just so honored to have had her on our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't be more grateful, more thankful, and so excited to like continue to share guests with you because we have a couple people on deck that have interesting stories and we're super excited about it.
Totally. I love having guests on.
I know, it's fun, huh?
It is. Okay, you guys. So in this episode, we're wanting to talk about your submissions.
Mm-hmm.
You guys submitted some really, really terrible, great, cringeworthy stories that we're going to dive into today. But before we do that, Bailey, what do we have going on this weekend?
Oh, we have Galentine's.
I know.
So wait, I feel like we need to cheers. Our cute little
bow moment. Show yours. Yeah. It's so cute.
Bars.
So cute. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to love. I love you, bae.
I'm just kidding. Jordan always does that when he's drinking anything
I love
out of
you.
a can. I love you.
Thank you.
Sorry. When he's drinking out of a can, it's like, oh my. Oh, okay. I get it. Don't leave your friends behind, but that's a bit much. Yeah. I feel like my hat is crooked.
Yes, this is honestly my first official ever Galentine's. Obviously, I've had like cute little girly hangouts, but it's
intentional.
Like themed. Yeah, and I'm like, it's so fun when there's a theme or like something intentional behind it because I'm like, what do I wear?
I have a cute idea for my fit. I want to tell you.
You want to?
I don't want to.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I love surprises.
Can I borrow your white chunky sweater? Maybe?
Yes. Okay. I'm so excited. That's like my favorite part of like going out. Well, going out, you know, I live in scrubs the entire week. So it's like when I have the opportunity to dress up, I'm going to take it.
Okay. So I have had this conversation with a couple of our friends and okay, we have a little monitor in the corner and I keep looking and I'm like, is my hat crooked? Is it crooked?
No. Maybe a little.
Help.
There you go.
Help a sister out. Okay. I have had that conversation a couple times. I have to get ready every single day
Yeah.
because I'm a hairstylist. People are looking at me for beauty. And sometimes I'm like, I'll catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, Bailey, help me help you help others, okay? Okay, we gotta set the scene so people trust that we're in the beauty industry. Because I'll be greased out, like hair behind my ears, like next client here, and blow drying quick. And I'm like, okay, you look frazzled, you look greasy, and you need help in chapstick or something. So, because I get ready, quote unquote, every day of the week, it is kind of nice. Like, I feel like I don't get ready on the weekends, and I feel opposite for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, it is humbling. I'll catch myself both hair tucked behind ears. And I'm like,
What's wrong with that?
just hot.
That's what I do every
No,
day.
but you look cute like that. I think I need like a shield. I need
Okay.
hair by my face.
Which it's so weird because I feel like, well, we both have big heads, but I have a big face, so I'm surprised that it works. Without the bangs, it wouldn't. I'll say that.
I do tuck my hair behind my ears in real life, but it's like one or the no, sometimes I will double tuck, but
Double tuck. It's a thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're funny today.
You think that I always say, I don't know, after everything I say.
No,
and I
you
do.
You say
I edit the podcast so I know a lot.
excuse you, but you say I don't know, especially after like a really good just like statement, and it's just
I'm
like you do know.
It's maybe not for everybody. I don't know. I saw something
there
the
you
other
go.
day that was like, I'm not trying to ruin your life. Don't take my advice. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Like it could be a heavy hitter, but I don't know. It's not for everybody.
Dude, you're funny. You're funny. You're a funny gal. Speaking of Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
do you and Jordan have any plans? Wait, pause.
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day is a very special day for this girl. It is your anniversary.
It is.
How cheesy is that, dude?
I know. I think Jordan was afraid to forget.
Jordan at the time, he was like 20 when you guys started dating. He's
22.
like, oh, Valentine's Day, it's the perfect day to ask Bailey to be my
Jordan
girlfriend.
and I met in December, and it was like midway through January that I was like, when is this guy gonna ask me to be his girlfriend? Like, hello? And I was like, oh no, we're sneaking up on Valentine's. I'm sure he's gonna, and it's cute. I don't
Dude,
wanna,
at the time, I'm sure you were like, Valentine's,
no,
that's so cute.
At the time, I was like, just ask me before. Like, Valentine's is Valentine's. Like, it's always gonna be Valentine's. We're always gonna be each other's Valentine. So, like, give me another date.
Yeah, right.
But it's fine. And he was like,
you're not complaining.
I'm not complaining at all. I just want to be celebrated on different occasions.
Yeah.
But what I will say is for a handful of years, we were going out doing the Valentine's thing that everybody does. You go to dinner,
Okay.
you like have a date.
What is that?
You know, you go to dinner. And we were like, we both, for a lot of our relationship, have taken Mondays as like our day off because we both work for ourselves and a lot of small businesses are closed on Mondays. And we were like, you know, there's something to a midday Monday lunch for Valentine's. Like, we don't have to celebrate all in the day because it's always so packed.
Yeah.
The wait list is endless.
Sure.
The restaurant you want to go to doesn't have availability, blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's if you don't plan in advance, Bailey.
Right, which I didn't. We never did. Both of us are kind of like, whoops. Anyway, because of Jordan, he has taught me a lot about cooking and we love to cook. We cook all the time. So I think it was like 2 years ago, we decided let's do something fun on Valentine's and then let's cook for ourselves. And that is kind of a funny story because the first time we were like, let's cook for ourselves, but let's make it special.
The first time?
This was 2 years ago.
Oh.
We went to
So this wasn't the first time. Let me just clarify, right?
No. Not our
Okay.
first Valentine's, but after a handful of years, we're like, that is so dumb. Like, it's so busy.
It's just overrated.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, I wanna have dinner with you, not, like, a loud room that I'm like, "What?
With
What'd
me?
you say?"
With me?
You my honey. It is right now, it's you. But so anyway, we're like, "Let's cook ourselves." And we went to the store. We're like, "Let's get lobster." Like, we always try to do
Oh, you
something
guys would.
special.
You would.
And actually, a couple days ago, I was like, "If you see any fun, interesting TikToks or reels, like, save them, send them my way for" like, we like to do something special and different
Mm.
cooking-wise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So, we
fun.
did lobster because 'cause we're like, "Let's just cook ourselves." We did lobster, and I was like, "Just throw that in the fridge." And it was like 2 days, 3 days before Valentine's, and as we're eating it, George's like, "Babe, you know how they say you know how they say when you're cooking seafood, how it, like, probably should smell fishy?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It could be fine, but it smells a little
A little
fishy."
too fishy.
Fishy. And I was like, "Hey, no, no, I'm glass half full. It's fine. It's fine." And
And, like, you were
I'll
probably, like, a little
I'll
embarrassed,
take it
like,
to the grave, but I'll be real, she means well. The next day and a half, I was like,
"Oh, no."
we should have put it in the fridge. We should have put it in the freezer. Always put your seafood in the freezer. It's fast to defrost. But I was being lazy and I was like, let's just put it in the
So,
fridge, keep it
did you just
not
cook the
frozen.
lobster?
No, no, no. We did it together.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
Jordan probably did most of it. There's like a whole like cracking situation and I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how to do it.
have you ever made dinner for Jordan or just been in a
Anybody?
situation, yeah, you're making dinner for someone and you know it's not your best work?
Oh
That's
yeah.
such a horrible feeling.
Dude, when Jordan and I
It's like,
met,
you don't have to eat that.
when Jordan and I met, I remember one time his dad was like, "Hey, can you help me dice this onion?" 'Cause he was making the obaya salsa,
Oh,
which is amazing. If you
so
haven't had
good.
it, buy it. Next time Jordan's dad is
Pepe
selling.
Obaya,
Yeah.
find him on Facebook.
And he'll post when they're making salsa, buy it. You won't
You
regret it.
guys, it seriously is the best salsa I've ever had.
But I remember we were in Hawaii for Chloe's graduation. He's like, "Will you?" And I'm like, "Can I help at all?" And he's like, "Yeah, will you
Oh,
dice this onion?" I'm like,
what a brave girl.
Y equals MX plus B in my head. I'm like, "Hello, how do you dice an onion? I don't know. I didn't know anything about cooking." I'm like, "It's gonna be wrong. It's all wrong. It's either too big or too small. Like, terrible." So I've learned a lot. If you have any cooking questions, I've probably been there.
Oh, okay. I'm
Send them
like,
my way. No, really.
mhm. We
I
don't come from a cloth that has lots of tricks up our sleeve when it comes to cooking. Love you, mom.
love you, mom.
Love you,
But we
dad.
used to joke and we're like, "Mom, when I moved out, ugh, I really missed your mean Caesar salad." She was like, "I cooked for you."
Oh.
We survived.
I was always fed.
We had Costco frozen, easy, and then my dad would make some
Very American.
goulash with everything in the kitchen, like mac and cheese, cream cheese, little hot weenies. Like my dad's on a different planet.
Unky, I
Love you,
cannot.
Dad.
I can't.
I love
Everything in the kitchen sink.
and coffee grounds. There's nothing worse when you're doing dishes than coffee grounds in the mix.
Ew, what about bread?
Soggy. You. I mean,
That is,
uh-huh.
it is the definition of soggy, is bread in the dishes.
Okay,
Sick.
dude, we're getting so
All
sidetracked.
right.
Okay, I have a question.
I love it.
Have you ever been on a bad first date? Not only bad date, but bad first date?
Mm,
Because we are reading those submissions today.
right,
So
right,
I need
right,
to
right.
ask you. Right.
Right. I mean, I feel like I've been on a date where like it was obvious the chemistry wasn't there.
Okay.
So there were way too many just like awkward situations. Okay, so we like walked along like a boardwalk, cute, sweet guy.
Mhm.
We started walking on the beach and then he started talking to me about how much he loved his feet.
Oh, I was just gonna say that sounds good. Okay.
I'm not a feet fan.
And
But no,
loving your
it's
own feet. Like it's like
like
everyone has a foot or two, but like they're there. I'm not obsessed.
Mm.
Like it could be worse. Don't get me wrong.
and like thank
but, like,
God I have my 2
I have 2
feet,
feet and I
but
love them.
I don't worship them. He was making a point that like you need to thank your feet and you know how people say like my feet just like I feel grounded, like when I'm in the grass or
Like they have the
something.
shoes that are like individual toes and they're like,
And it's like electrical.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Caveat.
No, let me finish my story, please. Anyway, so we start walking on the beach and the sand, is going in between his toes. And and he was just like, it's just so incredible. Like the feeling that you get like when you walk on so many granules and they just slide in between like he was
What was
very,
was it dark outside?
no, it was like,
See, what was your face doing?
it was
I'd be like,
sunset. My face was this. No, I didn't do that.
okay, because the
But
caveat,
nice guy.
the most
Loves his feet a little too much.
yeah, that's weird. The most crunchy part of me, which would be
Super crunchy.
would be very crunchy.
Yeah.
Is like, I get it. I get the whole buy bigger shoes so your feet can grip. Like, I get it. That's what people say. Our feet are designed to grip the earth. Like, I
Bailey,
get it.
I have never heard that in my life. I have never heard buy bigger shoes so your feet can grip.
No?
Dude.
Okay. Well, they say if you buy
Whoa,
shoes.
you and your hiking club? Like, who's they? Like,
I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. That is a thing.
Anybody?
If you buy shoes that are like your perfect foot length,
Right.
it's a little bit, it could be constricting if your toes don't have room to be able to grip.
Breathe.
Because trust me, I have some shoes that are cute that I'm like, I can fit in that.
For a couple hours.
And I can't. I really can't. Yeah. So you're not supposed to wear shoes like that on the daily because it conforms your foot into like a narrow shape and really it should be like wider so you can grip.
Stop with the
Like I
aggressive
said,
fingers.
the crunchiest part of me. I could kind of get it, but don't talk about it on a first date. Don't talk about it ever.
Yeah.
Really, don't talk about it ever.
Don't do it.
If I was wearing bigger shoes so that my feet could grip, I wouldn't even tell Jordan that. I'd be embarrassed. Don't talk about it.
I just can't believe that. I just can't believe that statement.
Don't talk about it.
So are you advising our listeners to buy bigger shoes so their feet can grip?
No.
Okay. I just
I
wanted
said
to
the
clarify.
crunchiest part of me.
Okay. I just want to clarify.
But buy shoes that fit.
Have you ever been on a really bad first date?
Okay, I do have a story that comes to mind.
Okay.
And it was the end of the night and saying goodbye, bye-bye.
Oh.
And it was just at the end.
Was it awkward before that?
No.
Okay. So was there chemistry? Were you having a good time?
I had fun, but like, had fun.
Okay, friend vibes.
Yeah. And it was like, he went in for the kiss, and I'm like,
oh.
to the cheek. And then it was like a couple awkward sentences between, and then he went in again. And it was like, to the other cheek.
Oh.
I know, which is
Swing and a miss, swing and a miss.
yeah. And to make it worse, it was like a double date vibe at the end of the night.
Okay.
My friend was like,
wait, are you referring to your date or
no,
someone
no,
else?
my real friend who we
My
went
real friend.
at the end of the night. We were ending the dates simultaneously. I was going to have a sleepover with her at the end. And
Okay.
it's like, see you
Fun.
guys. Bye.
Cute.
At the end of the night, she's like swooning.
Oh.
It was such a good night. And Bailey, we kissed at the end. It was so romantic. And I'm like, oh, you got a kiss, huh? I got two. Neither did I want them.
You got two on the cheeks.
Yeah. But
Dang. What was the conversation? Do you remember? Well, like what surrounded that?
can't say. It's too specific.
No.
I can't.
You have to do it in a way that it's not specific, Bailey. We're waiting.
Okay.
I don't know it.
So we were friends before this
Good friends.
date.
You went to school together.
We were young.
How old were you?
Young.
Come on.
High school.
Give
young.
us something.
Young. High
Okay.
school.
Okay.
And he just calls me like a friend name.
Okay.
You know?
Like a buddy name.
Uh-huh. And I was like, okay. I probably would have, this is not.
Did you want to kiss him?
No.
Okay.
No. No, I didn't want to kiss him. So I didn't, which you should never. If you don't want to, don't. So no, it ended weird. And I was just like, okay, bye.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think I did send a follow-up text, like, because I felt, put myself in his shoes, and I'm like, ooh, that would be
I
rough.
know. It would be rough to be a guy when it comes to like the whole I think about it, Bailey, like
I've thought
being the
about it.
initiator of taking out and putting on this date and paying for the check and I got to woo her. That doesn't go through my mind when I go out on my first date. When I go out on a first date with someone, I'm like, okay, like the outfit, the makeup, the hair, like this looks good.
Mhm.
Lord, let me be myself. Let me have a good time. They have a lot more on their plate, I feel like, when it comes to a first date. Would you agree?
I agree, but I don't think it should be that way. I think what it should be
Yeah.
is two people being like, let's give this a shot, call it is what it is. It's our first date. Maybe there's some awkward airtime. Maybe we like, no, you, no, you. Like, it's okay for it to be weird and a little bit
Ew.
weird.
Gosh.
You're two new people. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like there's a ton of pressure about making it super romantic and great. It's a first date. I think we should talk about an ideal first date.
Oh, okay.
I think it should be short and sweet. I think you should be left wanting more.
I think you should be able to get out if you need to.
You should.
Yeah. So, what are some examples of a good first date that if it's good, you can continue it? If it's not good, you can get out.
Okay, so if we're going to go short and sweet, I think it's either
But it doesn't have to be short, but it has the option to be short.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude.
So, okay, what?
Coffee, happy hour, just drinks in general. Let's meet for drink. Like Amy said last week,
Mhm.
let's meet for drinks. And if it's great, let's get another drink. Let's maybe go to a different
Or
place
go get food after that.
or go get food. Or if it's coffee, like, and you have your afternoon. Oh, I just feel like it's better to leave them wanting more than being like, so what do you want to do next? Like, I feel
Right.
like it's better to just be like, I had such a fun time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I will say, I feel like I do that all the time with my finger.
We both do.
Yeah. Only with you though. I feel like I don't do that in the wild.
Well,
I have something to say. Put my finger up. Okay. I heard on a podcast a while ago and they were saying biologically on the first date, men don't know how they feel about the date until it's ended and they've had time to think about it. They've processed. But women on first date, we're thinking about our wedding. We're thinking about our children's names.
like, can I picture this man holding my daughter
We're thinking
or my
about,
son?
like on mine and Jordan's first date, I was probably thinking like, if I marry him, my last name will be Obaya. Okay, my initials are going to be B.O. That's fine because he's cute. Like that's where girls go.
That's so true, dude.
It's just how it is.
I've always been that way. If I'm
Yes.
interested in a guy, I have to see what my name looks like written on paper.
Totally. All girls do.
I
All
do.
girls do. But
And if it doesn't fit, bye. Just kidding.
but it's
Kidding.
it's interesting to know that men don't even know how they feel about you until you're not in their presence.
Okay, I think what you're saying is there's a lot of truth to it, but like you can't put every guy in that box. Not every guy thinks
Well,
that.
no, not every situation is all one size fits all. But I do feel like, well, and also it depends, like, how long have you been chatting before your first date? Is it like
it does.
you've built some rapport? So then they're like, I
Mhm.
actually do know you. It was our first date. It
Mm.
was only one drink, but like, love you, see you, bye.
Totally.
And I am curious about her. Okay, our first date's over and I do like her. Or maybe you like her before your first date. Like a first date means a lot of different things. It could be
Yeah.
a blind date. It could be you have friends in common.
It could be you've been texting for 2 months.
It could be you're friends and you're curious if there's something there.
Mhm.
Like it could be a lot of different types of things. But if we're going generic and it's like you've kind of chit-chatted, you're on your first date. Let's just say you met on the apps and you're like, let's get happy hour. I don't feel like you should chat for too long before the date. Like you don't want to know about their childhood before you go on the first date. Like there are people DM way too long.
Mhm.
But then what you're going to say is you got to know you
Let
have
me say it.
chemistry.
Let me say it. I don't know. I don't want to waste my time. So like I need to know a bit more than just like the physical attraction and your 1, 2, and 3 biggest, like, morals, you
Okay,
know?
but if you don't wanna waste your time, that's why it should be short.
You
It's a
can only
drink.
fit so much in.
It's
Oh,
one drink
I'm talking about the preemptive, like, the time that you
before.
spend before talking to the person.
Yeah.
I think, like, I need to know a little bit more.
We know a little bit about them, but
I
I
don't need to know their
I don't
childhood
wanna know
or
your
who their
most
baby.
embarrassing moment. I don't wanna
Yeah,
know,
no. But,
but I
like,
just think when you're DMing, it can get deep fast,
right.
accidentally, because it's easy to open up to a screen. It's not easy to open up to a face. You
True,
know what I mean?
but, like, for me, it's like I don't wanna waste my time, so I will ask, like, some pretty important questions before I go on the date. Because I don't wanna go on a date and then, like, know that our number 1, like, first thing on our list that matters in a relationship doesn't align,
Yeah.
waste. So, honestly, I will ask those, like, bigger questions before we meet for a first
Well, for
date.
sure. I
Yeah.
think that there should be maybe you get, like, 5 solid, 3 solid, like, I don't know, like,
You rule follower.
there's such a fine line between
Totally.
talking too much where you're, like,
I think
so
those fun, nonchalant, like, "What's a
you
story from
should be
your
able to get a vibe.
childhood?" Like, yeah, let's get a vibe,
Yeah.
and then let's hang out.
Let's get a vibe in the DMs, and if you get a good vibe, go get a drink. If you don't get a good vibe,
Or coffee.
don't waste your time.
Bailey, there has been times where I've come to you, you've come to me, and it's like, "Dude, I need some advice." And this sweet gal reached out to us asking for advice on a situation that had to do with relationships, so I had to pick it.
Okay.
She needs our advice. We need to help this girl.
Let me hear it.
Okay, so
Your nails look so cute, by the
thank
way.
you. They scream love.
I love it.
Thanks. Okay, girls, I need your help. There's this guy I'm into, but he lives across the country. LOL. I barely know him, but drumroll please. He's my sister's boyfriend's younger brother. Sweating. They've been together for a while and they're definitely going to get married. I've always thought he was cute, but that's about it. Then in December, he liked my Instagram story, which was a selfie of me. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Then I met him in person for like an hour or two, and all the families just talked. Pause. So they're in a family gathering. I
Mhm.
wonder what it was. I wish you would have mentioned, but like, was it like,
Casual. Seems like it's casual.
but there's such a good chance that it could have been like a holiday thing
Mhm. But families together
because it's her
merged.
sister's boyfriend's family,
Mhm.
right? Then in December, oh, I'm sorry. Then I met him in person for like an hour or two, and all the families just talked. I'm pretty dang sure the vibes were there between us, but it's just complicated. Then recently, I just liked the picture he posted on his story of him. He was in a suit and tie looking all cute because, like, why wouldn't I like the photo? He looks so dang good. He might be visiting his brother this summer and said he really likes it here, so who knows after he graduates in the spring. I guess my question is, how should I go about this? I'm trying to be super chill and remind myself I don't even know him, but I definitely have a crush. And
Hmm.
since my sis and her boyfriend are for sure going to get married, he will be in my life for a very long time. Do you guys think that I should just play the slow game or am I crazy? Ha ha ha.
Okay. Couple things come to mind. First of all, it's such an interesting feature on Instagram to be able to like interact with people's stories because nobody notices really. I mean, maybe if you have like a crush and you're like, oh, they liked my post, like post. I don't feel like people look back at like who liked their post. Like who cares who liked their post? But
You
like,
do.
huh?
When you're single, you do.
Okay.
I can't be alone in this. Like when you're single, you're curious.
Okay, sure they liked your post, but to like your story feels a little more IRL, intimate, like I like it, hard eyes,
Oh, I'm
fire,
sorry.
whatever.
Your post?
Your post
on your
versus story.
feed.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I'm
like post on your
sorry.
feed, like, whatever,
Yes.
you should be liking it.
Yes.
Goodbye. If you like me, you
Yes.
should like it. I shouldn't be, like,
Yes.
excited about you liking it.
Right.
But to
Sorry,
engage
yes.
to engage with your story is like,
A
ooh,
little
they
bit
sent a
it's a little
fire
bit more
emoji.
intimate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's almost a way of being in your DMs without being in your DMs.
Mhm.
So that's just I'm gonna leave that there. That's just an interesting, like, okay, wait, maybe there's something there because he liked her story first. And it was like,
Right,
okay.
and I don't know, the fact that they've known each other for so long, like, her sister and the boyfriend have been or the brother have
Right.
been together for a really long time.
Mhm.
It's like this could either go so good or so south.
Okay, that's my second piece of advice is if and when, listener, you decide to give it a go, which I think you should.
I think you should too.
Uh,
Let's talk about
yeah.
that. Why do you think she should?
Well, I think initially you guys need to shake hands and look each other in the eye and call a spade and say, listen, we don't know what this is going to be. I like you like me, or even like, I think you're cute, you think I'm cute. Like, it doesn't need to be deep, like, what's your 5-year plan? But like, let's just shake hands and look each other in the eye and be like, hey, if this goes south and I see you at Thanksgiving, see you at Thanksgiving. Like, it just needs to be like as practical as it is. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like if I were you, how fun would that be? I mean, okay, thinking about like before that conversation happens, honestly, that sounds fun. Like having like that little flirty
Kind of
like
tension.
tension
Yeah.
between you two would be fun, like at the family gatherings or
Uh-huh.
whatnot.
Mhm.
Hanging out with your sister, him hanging out with his brother, you four get together. Double dates would be so much fun.
Mhm.
But do keep in mind it could go south so quick.
But I think if you know it could go south so quick, like, let's just like make light of it. And like, I guess maybe it depends on your personalities. Like, if you can like make a joke. But because you guys are kind of like dancing the line with the Instagram stories, DM vibe, it seems like it's pretty innocent and light. And you might as well just give it a go. I think it could be hard to be the one to pull the trigger,
Yeah.
of like, hey, you're in my DM. Like, you can't. Mm. You shouldn't be the. I was gonna say
I
you shouldn't be the one to call the initial shot, but like maybe if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. That's what my dad used to tell me. And if it's quacking, it's quacking. And maybe just be like, hey, next time you're in town, I don't know, like what would you asking
o
for a friend, literally,
okay, what I would
what do you
do
do?
honestly,
Let's give you tangible advice.
that sounds like so much fun. Like, I would have fun with that. I would, reply to his story back, like, continue, like, that flirtatious vibe, and then if he, like, gives that back to you, let's, like, have a conversation real quick,
We need to get
and
the
that
DMs happening, not just responses to the story.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Have that
We need a
happen,
prompt.
and then I feel like have a conversation too of, like, obviously, like, there's some attraction here between the 2 of us, um but ultimately, if something doesn't work out between the 2 of us, we both love our brother and our sister. We love them together. And if we want to move forward in any of this, like let's be on the same page that we're going to remain cordial and we're not going to bring our drama and mess up
But
anything.
don't you feel like that conversation definitely needs to be had, but I feel like it needs to be had not in the DMs.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, send some flirtatious, not trap, but like bait him. Bait him so he can like get the DMs going. Like, someone needs to start sending words. Like, not just
Yeah.
heart eyes and fire emojis. It
Yeah.
needs to be like, okay, cute, or that looks so fun, like something super innocent
Right.
that he will reply to. And
Yeah.
then we can get a conversation going and then be like, oh my gosh, next time you're home, it would be so fun if, or something like that.
Mhm.
Like, we need to get messages
Right.
flowing.
But let's have the conversation in person of like,
Yeah.
hey, like, obviously, like, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, we definitely feel each other, but let's just both be on the same page that if this doesn't work out, that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know that I know that we know that like this could either be really great because your options are if it goes great and you
Oh,
go on
how
a date.
fun.
Okay, I actually have a client, two clients, they're sisters,
What, you
and
just found that Jordan has a long lost brother my age and
no, I have two clients and their parents have siblings who married each other. And so they're like, it's super easy because family gatherings are like, there's no mom side, dad side. It's just a side.
everybody's there.
Everybody's there.
How easy would that be?
Right. So it's like, if it's great, it's going to be really great.
Yeah.
And if it's bad, that's when you just like call a spade and be like, hey, if this doesn't work out, like, see you around. Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
You just got to make light of
And
it.
let's be cool about it.
Yeah. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever bounces off me sticks to you. Don't let it stick to you if it goes bad. You know?
Yeah.
Those vibes.
Anyway, anywho,
Her.
you guys, we got so many fun submissions about worst first dates.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, we don't want to make this episode like 3 hours long. So we had to select some. And they were so good. It was so hard to pick from. But we're going to share with you the ones that we selected. Bailey, you start us off with the first one.
Okay. Let's see. Kind of nervous because sometimes I feel like I get reading and I'm like fumbling on my words. Okay. Here we go. First red flag is okay. So this is from a dude. First red flag is the girl said she didn't have her car, so I should pick her up. Is that a red flag? I feel like you should be picking her up either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Second red flag was that she came out of the house dressed like she stole clothing from her mom, aka way too big, didn't fit, etc. Just off. Third red flag, you should drive away. Third red flag is when we were waiting for our table, she couldn't wait any longer and needed a smoke. I don't smoke, but I did get to walk with her so she could buy some. Finally, got to the restaurant and I ordered normally. She clearly assumed I was paying, but after that, after those many red flags, I noticed it was not working out. Her face was priceless when I said we should take 2 checks. Of course, I still had to drive her home. So talk about awkward. That's a bad first date, first of all, for so many red flags. But
in my personal opinion,
there's a lot to unpack here.
my personal opinion, I personally feel that the guy should
Pay.
if it should pay. And you know what? Maybe like whoever initiates the date, whoever's really pursuing that date should pay. And in this case, I don't know who is pursuing the date, but I would I would like to think that it was probably the guy, which is how it typically goes. And I'm sorry, but take the check.
I don't
Even
like
if
that
you're
you
not
asked for
feeling
2.
it. Even if you're not feeling
Like, what
excuse
is
me.
30 extra bucks? Like,
Yeah,
forget it.
I know. But yeah, that's rough. I mean, if she doesn't have a car, I don't know
Okay,
how old this
so it's
person.
like, obviously there's lots of red flags happening. Just like grin and you're asking for my advice. Grin and bear it, bite it, pay the check, don't go on a second date.
Yeah,
And you still end up looking like a champ.
and the good guy for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Second submission. Here we are. First date, he wanted to go to the movies, and he picked Finding Dory. I love a good Disney Pixar, to be honest.
But in the theater,
Maybe
it's
not.
like, I'm here for the premiere.
This is pre-sale.
Yeah. Camping out till midnight.
Outside of the Regal Cinemas. Okay.
Gotta get my popcorn early. Sorry.
It was the first day that Finding Dory came out, so we were surrounded by families and little kids. Mid-movie, he starts trying to make out.
In Finding Dory?
And
Not even Finding Nemo. Finding Dory.
And his kissing was so sloppy and loud.
Oh.
And it was the most uncomfortable experience having a guy trying to make out with me while there's children everywhere.
Okay, wait. Not that we have to stop and like dissect every submission, but if that were you, I feel like I would be like, maybe give like a kiss, like, I mean, clearly back to the movie. Like, You're not making out during Finding Dory. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, I put myself in your shoes and I'm like,
Making
"Oh,
out?
this first guy, he picked Finding Dory. That's kinda cute. That's kinda sweet."
Wholesome.
But, that wholesome is removed quickly when he's trying to mac out during a
Like, what? Ew.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry, lady.
That gave me PTSD. Ew.
What? What did that give you PTSD from?
Not PTSD, like I've had that experience, but I
Gayle?
mean that gave me like lingering, like, ew.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah. Ew, ew, ew. Okay. I didn't know this guy at all, but on our first date, he opened up about his drug history, DUIs, how he accidentally was on meth, then finally tried to argue politics. LOL. That's literally it. He
How
accidentally.
how are you accidentally on meth? How?
It's not.
I don't know how you accidentally are on meth. Dang. That's bad. That is really bad, Bailey.
And why are you talking about it on a first date?
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Next.
All right. A few years ago, this guy I met in high school randomly asked me out. I didn't know him well, but I hadn't been asked out on an official date before. Usually I dated guys who were my friends already. We met up at a chain restaurant since it was close for the both of us. While before we ordered, he talked to most of the time. I don't remember getting much of a word in. I decided to get something off of the happy hour menu because I was pretty broke at the time, so my meal wasn't too expensive. During dinner, we didn't have a single thing in common, and he talked about his ex. I'm kind of nosy, so I was kind of into it, but whatever. Finally, the bill came. He grabbed the check and was visibly shocked at the price. He began to complain how expensive my order was.
Happy hour?
Happy hour.
What, $12 at the most?
I offered to split the check.
20? No.
I offered to split the check with him. I don't expect someone to pay for me, even if it's on a first date. He declined, but then yet complained even after he paid the bill. At this point, I was so ready to go home. We started walking to our cars, and then in parentheses, we parked right next to each other. He said he wanted to talk some more in his truck. I should have just left then.
Ugh.
We got in his
What, you
truck.
crawling? No, sorry. Go ahead.
We got in his truck. He almost immediately tried to get freaky with me in the parking lot. Not a kiss. ... I made an excuse why I had to leave and left right away.
You're gonna climb in the truck just to have a talk. Goodbye. Have a talk with me outside.
Ew.
Like, you want to get in my car so we can talk?
That's so sick.
Okay. Ew, dude. To complain about the price at all. I don't care if it's $200 dinner. Which, first of all, let's talk about, like, on our first date, don't go somewhere super, like, crazy expensive. Like, keep it cash.
Yeah.
Second of all, if it's happy hour, that means it's casual. That means we're at, and it's a chain restaurant.
Yeah.
If it's a chain restaurant and you're doing happy hour, there's no happy hour at a chain restaurant more than $20. Like, you're not spending more than $15.
No, 15, yeah.
15 for sure.
Yeah.
And if $15 is breaking the bank, don't be dating.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
From the sound of this story, I feel like he would have initiated this date. Girl, I'm sorry. You did nothing wrong. That is so awkward.
I mean,
I seriously, sometimes I really have to tell myself, like, Abigail, bite your tongue. Because in that moment, I would have just been like, you okay?
honestly, is that worth a bite your tongue? Like, I feel like somebody needs to tell him. And I'm somebody who's
That's
like
what I'm
a people
saying.
pleaser.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying. Are you okay? Like, I would have to say that.
I would,
But I probably,
second.
I don't know.
Well, it's hard because it's like, let's just leave it on the table. Not my battle, not my circus, not my monkeys. Goodbye.
I'm not
gonna
interested
date you
by,
again.
yeah.
But like, he needs to know. That's okay.
Continued complaining even before the bill and after the bill.
I'm sorry. I've been with my boyfriend for a very long time, and Jordan doesn't bat an eye at the bill. And I could even be like, how much was it? Like, I'm curious. And it's not like it could be, we just went to an expensive restaurant the other day, and it was like, oh yeah, it was And it's like, just let me know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm curious, I'm
Yeah.
asking, but it's also not like, "Ooh, that was
Right.
expensive, babe." Like, he's not telling me
He gives
that.
you no indication.
None.
Yeah. That's how it
Ugh.
should be.
Goodbye, barf. Okay. This was a second date actually, but I drew a tattoo for him on a napkin at a Mexican restaurant, which
That's cute.
it could be. Which he proceeded to get while fully in a relationship. So he got the scribble, ended whatever their first date was. It didn't continue on, I'm assuming. Went into a full another relationship enough.
Wait, went into or he already was in?
It sounds like he went, which he proceeded to get. Oh, while fully in a relationship. You're right. You're right. You're right. And getting engaged to someone else. To make it worse, my sister was almost a bridesmaid in their wedding, in parentheses, although the wedding never happened though. LOL.
Oh my gosh.
Goodbye. Good riddance.
I wonder what the tattoo was. Not that it could literally
doesn't.
just be a period dot.
She
like,
could literally be a good artist and it's fine. Ew,
Oh,
wow. While in a relationship.
that is so sick.
Ew, 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 ew.
He joked about putting me in his trunk a few too many times. Asked if I could hang out tomorrow, and I said I had plans with my family. He said, I want to meet your family. Ended the date by telling me he loved me. I've never bailed so fast.
Ew, goodbye.
I mean, just the first sentence, like he joked one too many times about putting me in his trunk. Why are you even saying that in the first place? I don't know like how you guys met. I'm thinking about like if this was like a true, like we don't know each other very well, no report. Like how scary is that? That's scary. I
Joke
did
about
not
being in
want
the.
that.
That should not be first date.
No. I feel like if I already know this person somewhat and like we have a flirtatious, funny, like
Banter.
vibe banter,
Yeah.
like sure, once, but more than one time, bye.
Uh-oh.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry, lady.
Yikes.
Met this girl through Tinder. She was from the East Coast and I lived on the West Coast. We met up and she explains to me that she had never been needed to drive on the East Coast because public transportation is way more easier than it is over here. She then went on and told me that she really wants to learn how to drive, but doesn't have anyone to really show her how.
Oh. You know, East Coast people who don't drive are probably like, which one's the brake and which one's the gas?
How old are they?
I don't care. They could be 35. Imagine if you've
And they
taken the
could be
subway your whole
16.
life.
Yeah, they could be 16 too, and I don't really care, but it's like,
I mean, definitely when I was 16, I got in the car and I was like, which one's the brake and which
I
one's.
feel like if you can't trust someone to like drive your car, I mean, I'm not a good driver, but if like you don't know much about this person and it's like I don't trust them to drive my car, that's a red flag in itself,
Mhm.
right?
But it's like first day. I've never driven a car. It's like everyone's driven a car. I'm
Oh,
sure she's
okay.
fine.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I stupidly offered my car for her to at least get the taste of what it's like to drive a car. Long story short, I told her what to do, and the second she took her foot off the brake, she panicked when the car started slowly rolling on its own and then slammed into the parked car that was in front of us. I left a note on the other car and never heard from the girl again. Yeah, good job, girl. Like I would not
I wouldn't reach back out. I'd be like, I crashed your car.
I would
I'm gonna go die in the ditch. Goodbye.
I would probably reach out and apologize and just be like, I never want to see you again. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh,
Yeah.
like, that would be very embarrassing.
Mm,
I probably would
probably
reach
would
back
be
out
me.
and be like, please let me know if there's anything I can pay for. I'm so
Right.
sorry. Goodbye.
Oh,
Okay, I only have one more. Okay. It's short and sweet. Story from my friend. She was on she, oh no. She went on a Tinder date and that's it. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. She went on a Tinder date. He kept vaping.
Honestly, live it there.
Well, buckle up, sisters.
Yeah.
He kept vaping in her face at a restaurant, asking if she was impressed by his clouds he was chucking.
Oh my Lord.
Are you impressed by that? Oh.
He's like,
In her face, and she's like,
Darth Vader.
her hair's going back.
Blows
You.
out the candle in the middle of them.
If somebody was like, are you impressed? If anyone asked if I was impressed about anything about them, are you impressed? No.
That is sickening. That is so gross.
Ew.
On that note,
that's my last one.
I'm getting sick and we need to wrap these up.
My tummy hurts.
Yeah, my tummy hurts. That was really good, like engagement and submissions.
Oh,
Thank you guys so much for submitting those. Like that was really good content. And I'm so glad it made me sick to my stomach because that's what we wanted.
Okay. So the listener submission episodes are not going anywhere. Next up to bat is babysitter-esque. Whether you've been a bad babysitter, it's okay to admit.
Nobody's going to know it's you.
You made your little sister change all the dirty diapers, Michaelin. Okay. Or maybe the kids were really bad and it was like, this is not happening. I don't know what to do.
Kids from hell, but on earth.
Kids from hell. Yeah. Hello. So babysitting-esque stories is next. Please do not stop submitting.
Yeah.
We love these episodes. It's so much fun to like listen and read and just find out in real time what you guys have lived through. And honestly better you than me.
Serious. I feel like we've said that a couple times. Like these are our favorite types of episodes. But seriously, having you guys included in the episode makes it so much more fun. And I really appreciate all of the contribution to this episode. So keep that up. That was a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Thank you guys so much. You can find us on all platforms at She Means Well Podcast. And we are super excited for next week.
I know. I am too. That's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
You guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a review, especially on our Spotify, it actually goes a really long way. If you go to our Spotify account, you'll see like 5 stars up in the upper left corner. Tap on that and it gives you the option to leave a review. Tap that, leave a review, share it to a friend. It goes a long way for us in our podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Like Abby said, definitely share this episode with a friend, especially one who's like in the weeds of dating, because these are probably worse than what they're experiencing. I hope.
I pray. We love you guys. We hope you have a very good Valentine's Day full of love. And until next time.
We'll see you next week, baby.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.